Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Durbanites FPL review for game week 9. So starting with the table as usual, a nice 40 plus point lead at the top and I'm happy with that, but a lot happening beneath the next 4 teams only within 9 points of each other. Anything can happen at any time. Then quite a bit of a midfield battle, and down at the bottom 10, 11 and 12, all of them fighting it out. So there's quite a bit of change happening in the league itself. Quite interesting to see how these next few games are going to impact that. Let's look at the player selections for the week's 4 players now selected by a majority of the managers. Cole Palmer still leading with 11 out of 12 managers selecting him. Erling Haaland 10 out of 12. Emil Smith-Rowe 9 out of 12, and Mo Salah slipping to 7 out of 12 managers that are selecting him currently. This is not unexpected with Liverpool having a tough run of games coming up from last week. Looking at the differentiators for this week, just 2 of them cracking the double digits. So Michael Keane, 1 or 2 out of 6 managers having him, and Josko Guardiola, 3 out of 12 managers having him. So amazing differentiators there from the defenders. Now looking at the hits and misses, definitely captaining Mo Salah was a great idea last week. 12 points for him, 24 points for Squish and Diddy, making a big difference in their league table. And then looking at the defenders coming up at the back, usually bolstered by Keane and Guardiola as well. But 20 plus points for Zai, Azra and MSK. Just 1 miss, which is Diddy having 21 points on his bench. That's sinful. Could have really helped him in this league to jump up another level as well. Looking at that, let's look at our selection. So the best selection for the team that we had, this is a lineup or a formation that we don't see very often. 5-2-3, just 2 midfielders making the nod and Rodgers making it in with 6 points only. Martinez strong at the back for the 2nd week in a row. Good lineup of defenders. Keane getting the captain's armband, so Keane, Guardiola, Mikalenko, Stones and Kakes at the back. Salah managing to keep some respect in the midfield with Rodgers then partnering him, and 3 up front with Chris Wood, Ollie Watkins and Danny Welbeck coming up front. On the bench, Pickford picking up another clean sheet. Well done to him. Madison, Foden and McNeil bringing up the bench for 3 midfielders. That team would have got you 111 points on the week, 131 including your bench boost, with a total cost of 96. So very affordable team that's performing at this moment. Looking at the fixture rating, slim pickings. We're getting into a very tricky part of the season. Very few teams that have a good run of games coming up. But Everton have been showing some real promise. Fulham are not going to be easy, but on paper they seem to be the favourite here for Everton. Everton has been scoring, so definitely one to look at. Still 4 good games ahead of them. Man City have some tough games coming up, as you can see in the future, but until then they have 3 games coming up. Erling Haaland broke his scoring duck in Europe in midweek, so chances are Southampton are going to feel some of that wrath for those that are confident in captaining him again this week. Then you have Notts Forest, who've also been doing really well, leading the line there with Chris Woods. They have some midfield issues, but they've got Leicester and West Ham coming up in the next 2 weeks. Maybe worthwhile still looking at those guys. Then Manchester United, who again had an unlucky week in Europe. However, they've got West Ham, Chelsea, then Leicester, Ipswich and Everton coming up. They are looking a bit more dangerous. They have fewer injury worries than they had last season, so maybe a good punt. Looking at teams to be cautious with, we have Arsenal and Liverpool. You can see tough games coming up in the near future for those that are banking on them. Same with Chelsea and Newcastle. So really look very hard at those teams. Aston Villa as well. Then you've got Brighton and Bournemouth. So not too many players from Bournemouth on the lineups anyway, but some tough games coming up. And then you're looking at Brighton also having a tough lineup. So be very careful with these teams. Moving on to the selections for the back line. Alisson's out from Liverpool, so Kelleher's still in, but with the run of games coming up, maybe safer to stay away. Bazunu and Johnston still out. Looking at the defenders, Trippier is a big one. Saliba suspended as well, so Arsenal having a bit of trouble at the back with their defense. In terms of picks, we're looking at Pickford because of Everton's great run. Onana still getting saves even if he's not getting a clean sheet. And of course, you've got Edison with favourable game, and Sells is back with Forest. Then you're looking at defenders-wise, Alexander-Arnold, even with tough games, he is a scoring threat. Diallo and De Ligt for Manchester United seem to be good picks. Same for Gabriel from Arsenal, who's scoring even if he's not getting a clean sheet. Then you got Guardiola and Lewis from Manchester City, Aina from North Forest, and Keane and Branthwaite is back at Everton. Definitely one you want to keep an eye on with his attacking threat. Then looking at the midfield, you've got Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, all of them somewhat doubtful. March, and then for City as well, Rodri, Doku, Bob, all of them out. De Bruyne is still doubtful. Grealish is also out. You got Jota from Liverpool doubtful. Kudus is suspended with that red card last week. Gibbs White from Forest is also quite a few injury doubts there, which leaves Palmer and Madueke in the picks, even though they've got tough games. Same for Salah and Diaz. Omari Hutchinson also quite good chances for him to score. McNeil from Everton, Kovacic and Foden at City, Johnson and Maddison at Spurs, and you can also add Son into that mix. And then the youngsters Garnacho and Ahmad from Manchester United. Those are the options we have based on the slim pickings in the fixtures. And then looking at the forwards, again, Callum Wilson is still doubtful, as is Kai Havertz, Danny Welbeck as well, and João Pedro is out at Brighton, so Brighton are facing some serious issues up front. And in terms of picks for the forwards, again, based on the fixtures coming up, Erling Haaland, based on his European performance and the fact that he's got Southampton this week, should be good for goals. Then you've got Rasmus Højlund, who's been playing really, really well for Manchester United, should look to ignite. Calvert-Lewin for Everton, and Chris Woods, who's been on sublime form so far this season for Notts Forest. That's the selection that we have for forwards this week. Not many to choose from, so be really, really careful, especially with the tight margins. But that's all we have for this week. Sorry for the crappy voice. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold, but hope I'll be better for next week's wrap-up as well. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And good luck with the game week ahead. See you soon. That's all for now.